The war has taken everything, or so it seems. Rations, air raids, recruiting posters, and the ever-present threat of Nazi Germany weigh on every mind. For Tommy Shelby, the battlefield isn't only abroad, but in his head. Memories of Polly, betrayals, lies, and an uncanny whisper that his fate may still be sealed by forces he cannot see. It's 1940, and Britain stands on the edge. Tommy Shelby prepares for a new kind of fight, one against insidious powers within and without. The film, The Immortal Man, set to bridge the gap between the show's original end in the war's shadow and what comes next, begins here. Act 1, The Immortal Man. Setup. Tommy Shelby, having survived the chaos of the 1930s, is reluctantly drawn back into action. A Nazi spy ring has infiltrated England. Oswald Mosley remains a threat, but now there are new villains, collaborators, and shadowy allies. Tommy is older, more cautious, more haunted, but still driven by the desire to protect his family and his legacy. Paul Anderson returns as Arthur Shelby, but frailer, worn by time, and haunted by the losses, Polly, Michael, and all the lives sacrificed. Sophie Rundle's Ada, Finn, and Johnny Dogs remain. New characters enter: agents, double agents, war profiteers, and people from the younger generation whose allegiances are not yet clear. Inciting incident. Tommy is contacted by British intelligence. They know of his network, his capacity for violence and secrets. They want him to uncover the Nazi spy ring. At first Tommy refuses, his loyalties are mixed, and he's tired. But when an attack on Birmingham, possibly targeting members of his extended family, is traced back to someone he once trusted, he realizes inaction is no longer an option. Conflict and rising action. The war escalates. Tommy's mansion is requisitioned for war work, his factories shift production to munitions. Rationing, blackouts, and air raids change everyday life. Internally, Tommy wrestles with guilt and regret. He still believes he's fated for something more, something darker. Arthur's health deteriorates, he becomes increasingly distant, seeking solace in drink and memories. Ada juggles motherhood, loyalty to Tommy, and her own politics, perhaps being drawn into leftist movements or resistance work. New enemies emerge: Nazi sympathizers among British elites, corrupt officials, perhaps even betrayal within Tommy's circle. Tommy recruits a younger generation, maybe the sons daughters of the old gangsters, teddy boys rising up, East End rivals, a new gang in London. In him, they see something mythic, the Immortal Man, a legend, someone who won't be broken. Climax. Tommy uncovers that the spy ring is planning something huge, perhaps sabotaging Birmingham's factories, or delivering secrets to the Germans that could shift the war. The betrayal is personal. Maybe someone from Ada's circle, or an old PEAKY friend, is working with the enemy. Tommy must choose between vengeance and sacrifice. Tommy leads a daring raid, a factory, an airfield, somewhere strategic. Explosions, gunfire, betrayal, sacrifice. Arthur tries to help, Ada is in danger, Finn must prove himself. Tommy confronts the enemy spy, someone he once trusted, and kills them, but at cost. Act 2, Aftermath and transition to the 1950s series. Resolution of the film. The Nazi plot is foiled, but not without losses. Perhaps Arthur dies, or is rendered incapacitated, delivering a tragic emotional punch. Tommy emerges victorious in the moment, but scarred. He realizes war is not like the wars of old, this is ideological, psychological, and morally gray. The film ends with Tommy standing alone amidst ruins or bombed-out Birmingham, knowing something must change. Maybe he rides away or goes into seclusion temporarily. This ending acts as a bridge, closing the World War II era for Tommy Shelby, and setting the stage for what's next, the story of the next generation of Peaky Blinders in the 1950s. Series 1950s Next Generation. With The Immortal Man wrapping up Tommy's major war-era arc, the new series, reportedly greenlit, picks up in the 1950s, a Britain recovering, reconfiguring, changing rapidly. Industry, politics, class, and culture all shift. And so does crime. Setting: post-World War II Britain, austerity, rebuilding, new technologies, radio, early TV, rising working-class unrest. Birmingham is no longer the same, the diaspora immigration begins to reshape the city. The younger generation, children of Shelbys, cousins, protégés, grow up in a world both more hopeful and more complex. Teddy boys, youth culture, music, early rock and roll, racial tensions, political changes are all pressure points. Characters. Tommy Shelby remains, but more as a patriarch, mentor, occasional antagonist. He has influence, but his physical energy is waning, his moral compass is frayed. He's haunted by what he's done, what he's lost. Ada Shelby's children, or nephews, nieces, become central. Maybe a Shelby heir who wants a legitimate life, politics, business, or the opposite, drawn to crime. Finn Shelby may return, trying to wrestle a place for himself beyond Tommy's shadow. New faces, younger gangsters, Teddy boys gangs, political radicals, post-war profiteers, corrupt union bosses, immigrant communities, spies during Cold War, the rise of organized crime in new forms, smuggling, racketeering, perhaps drug trade beginnings. External antagonists, new criminal rivals, law enforcement more sophisticated, maybe the Cray twins in London as rising threat, police corruption, politicians, possibly remnants of fascism, or those who collaborated during the war. Plot arcs, themes, legacy and change. What does it mean to be a Shelby now? The values and methods of the old guard may no longer be viable. Moral ambiguity. After fighting Nazis, what ethical lines can be drawn in peace? How much has violence become normalized? Family versus business versus conscience. Generational conflicts. Tommy's children, or next gen, may resent his methods or want to move on. Ada might represent a more modern woman's view. Identity. With immigration and social change, racial, cultural, class identity become central. How do the Shelbys relate to the new working-class immigrants? Do they exploit them, protect them? Are they blind to inequities? Crime evolves, no longer just street gangs and political extremism but also corporate corruption, smuggling, black markets, possibly drug trade, union rackets. Potential key story beats. 1. Return of Tommy, reluctantly pulled back in when someone threatens the reputation of the Shelbys, maybe a rival gang starts killing off old PEAKY members. 2. New villain emerges in London, possibly Cray twins or someone inspired by them, someone who is media savvy, more brutal, operating a different model of crime. 3. Ideological conflict, young Shelbys or others drawn to politics, trade unions, socialism versus old crime. 4. Romance, betrayal, family tensions, love across boundaries, ethnic, class betrayals from within, trusted allies who collaborate with new threats. 5. Tommy's decline, physically, mentally. The toll of years catches up, PTSD, guilt, even possibly impending death, maybe his immortality is only myth. 6. Big finale arc where the next generation must either commit to a new way or embrace the violence. Tommy's shadow looms large, can they escape it? Possible ending threads. Tommy may finally step aside, metaphorically or literally, leaving the story to his descendants. A new Shelby leader emerges, someone who redefines what Peaky Blinders means. Perhaps they leave crime behind, or try to legitimize business, politics but face pushback. The Shelbys may have to sacrifice power for family, or risk everything to protect what they truly care about. The myth of Tommy is, the immortal man, may be challenged, maybe people believe he can't be touched by death, but the show drags him back down. Tie-ins with what is known. These speculative arcs align with what has been reported. The film The Immortal Man is set during World War II, with Tommy returning, facing the Nazis, confronting internal demons. Creator Stephen Knight says the movie will not be the end, the world of Peaky Blinders will continue. There is a new series, spin-off in development, set in the 1950s, focusing on the next generation, with Tommy potentially in a mentor-father figure role.